hit that subscribe button and the bell icon beside it to check out our latest videos before anyone else. Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Greedy Tech and this is a camera comparison between the Redmi 5 and the Infinix Hot S3. By the way, this video is being recorded on the Redmi 5 and the audio is from the phone itself, so you can check out the noise cancellation and the stabilization right now. Now with that said, let's get started. On the rear, Infinix sports a 13 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture and a dual LED flash. On the front, it sports a 20 megapixel camera with Sony IMX376 sensor, 82° field of view, and a dedicated dual LED flash on the front. Redmi 5 sports a 12 megapixel camera on the rear with f2.2 aperture and a single LED flash. On the front, it sports a 5 megapixel camera. Now here are the sample shots. Both phones lack auto HDR, so all these pictures were taken early in the morning with HDR turned off. Images from both phones look overbright and lose details and colors at the overexposed part. Colors are to the warmer side on Redmi, so sometimes colors look drastically different on both phones. Infinix does a better job in terms of close to accurate colors and better color balance. Infinix also has better exposure control. Redmi sometimes overexposes the shot, so things look blown out, and sometimes underexposes the shot, which makes the image look dull and dark. Capturing speeds, focusing speeds, and dynamic range are good on both phones. So personally, out of these two phones, I would pick Infinix Hot S3 as the winner because of the better color balance. Now these are some pictures taken with HDR turned on. In this mode, Redmi takes like a second to capture the shot and Infinix is comparatively much faster. On Redmi, colors are slightly to the warmer side and Infinix, it overexposes the shot and loses some details. So with HDR on, I prefer images from Redmi. Now coming to low light performance, images from Infinix look bright but they are soft. Images from Redmi look slightly darker but they have better exposure control and better sharpness. Once again, capturing speeds on Redmi are slightly slower while it's fast on Infinix, just like the HDR images. In low light, there isn't a huge difference between both the phones, but I prefer Infinix. If you are a normal user who wants to take good looking pictures, then Infinix does a better job. If you are interested in photography, you are willing to tweak the photo after you take them to make it look better, then Redmi 5 is better for you. Now coming to selfies, here are the sample shots. All these selfies were taken early in the morning. Color reproduction, exposure control, dynamic range all look much better on the Infinix Hot S3. Redmi has issues with exposure control. Selfies are bright and you look fair, but colors look faded on Redmi. Most importantly, selfies from S3 are much wider than Redmi 5, and that's a major advantage for Infinix. Now Infinix Hot S3 also offers portrait selfies while Redmi 5 doesn't. Here are the sample shots. Now coming to low light selfies, both phones come with a dedicated selfie flash. Redmi supports auto flash. On S3, auto flash is not supported. So sometimes selfies from Infinix look bright, but it lacks exposure control and some parts like forehead is overexposed. Comparatively, selfies from S3 are more sharper if you use the flash correctly. On Redmi, selfies look decent, but they are very soft and you need very stable hands to take sharp selfies. Now coming to video recording, here's the sample footage. So guys, this is the video footage from Infinix Hot S3 and the Redmi 5. I have the Redmi 5 on the left side and the Hot S3 on the right side. And I am recording video on both the phones at Full HD resolution, which is the maximum resolution supported by both phones. By the way, audio is also from both phones itself, so you can check out the noise cancellation from both phones and the video stabilization as well. By the way guys, both phones doesn't support any optical image stabilization or electronic image stabilization, so the footage should be equally shaky. I have recorded video on both phones at 1080p resolution and that's the maximum resolution supported by both phones. There is no stabilization on both phones, so the footage is shaky. Footage on Redmi looks very warm and the difference in color reproduction sticks out a lot. Footage from Infinix looks slightly more overexposed, but it has more accurate color reproduction. Out of the two, I would prefer Infinix for video recording. Now here's the footage from the front camera. So guys, this is a footage from the front facing camera of the Infinix Hot S3 and the Redmi 5. I have the Hot S3 on the left side and the Redmi 5 on the right side, and just looking at it, I can say that the footage from the Hot S3 is much more wider than the Redmi 5. Color reproduction is a completely different story, and the exposure control seems to be much better on the Infinix itself. By the way, audio is also from the phones itself, so you can check out the noise cancellation right now. You get wider footage on Infinix with better exposure control. With that said, footage is slightly overexposed to make you look fair, while Redmi looks more natural. When there is a bright background, subject becomes dark on Redmi, and that's not a problem on Infinix. So even for front camera video recording, I would prefer Infinix. So guys, to conclude, cameras on Infinix Hot S3 are definitely much better than Redmi 5, especially the front facing camera where you get wider and better selfies, and it also offers portrait selfies, which is not available on Redmi 5. So guys, looking at the sample pictures, which phone do you think did better? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you are planning to buy either of these phones, use the link in the description. It really helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter, and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from Greedy Tech signing off. Have a nice day.